Hello friends! Today I'm here to give you the quick and dirty lowdown on diction. We often think that diction has to be very complicated and that we need to do all these things to enunciate and be heard clearly and the truth is that most of you already know how to do that quite well, especially those of you who have acting training. But even those of you who are music education candidates and are preparing yourselves to speak in front of classrooms, you know how to do this. If you've ever taken a speech class, you know how to do it. The truth is that the more your diction can be based on your human speech, the more clear and efficient it will be. We sometimes think that that can't possibly be true and it must be more complicated than that, but I'll give you just a couple examples. My source for these ideas about musical theater singing are sort of adapted from Kristen Linklater's book, Freeing the Natural Voice, which is for actors. And my classical ideas come from The Naked Voice by Stephen Smith, who's on the faculty at Northwestern in Chicago, not Northeastern, which is in Boston. Anyway, so if you're interested in learning more about these things, feel free to check out either of those sources because they go into much more depth. But let's go for the easy version. So, musical theater singers often have an easier time with this because they speak so much on stage and are going back and forth between speaking and singing. So the truth is actually, the more you can make your singing like you're speaking, the less wear and tear there will be on your voice, so that when you transition from dialogue into sung dialogue, which is really what you're doing, the mechanism is functioning almost exactly the same. So the only example I can think of for some reason is Still Hurting from the last 5 years. And I'm also trying to think of examples that like people will know so you can hear. So if I were just kind of singing it on my own, I'd come up with something along the lines of Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie is building a pond and I'm still hurting. And the hardest part there is that last phrase because it kind of goes into like 3 different spaces. And so I kind of could feel like every little shift in there. So what I'm going to say for myself as I'm practicing, like, ooh, I don't really love how that went. Let me say it. And I'm still hurting. First, I say it as my human self, especially because I know my habits are to speak pretty clearly and just slowly enough. I'm still hurting. I find the purest, most stripped down version of this that I'm not doing anything to. That's the version that I want to work with. I'm still hurting. And now I imagine I'm going to speak just beyond the camera to the back wall of my office. I'm still hurting. And now I'm going to speak through my room to the next room in the house. I'm still hurting. And each one of these is based on that natural speech mechanism. I'm still hurting. I'm still hurting. And I'm still hurting. And I get a better resulting sound because I have found a natural way to amplify the most efficient and easy version of my voice. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. Jamie is over and Jamie is gone. It's more clear, it's more direct than what I was doing the first time, even though I practice this stuff a lot. So that's kind of the shortest version. And the other trick is when you've got to do high things, start with the exact same process, your natural, efficient voice. What is that thing? Go and hide yourself away. I don't know what the actual words are. Sorry. But she says something like that. And that's the part where everybody like falls apart, right? If they don't really know what they're doing. Go and hide go and hide yourself away. 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 Run away. Or whatever. Do you see what I mean? Is really the point of these ridiculous examples. So if you are a musical theater singer, you can find more ease and efficiency that way. If you are a classical singer who's transitioning styles, that is one of the best, most clear, efficient ways to tap into that. And for classical singers, the process actually works almost the exact same way, but there's just one extra step. So for you guys, I'll sing Caro mio ben, because most of you at least have heard it before. Caro mio ben, credi mi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Oh, I should have given you a before first. Caro mio ben, credi mi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Cameo by Millie. So now I'm going to do that same thing again. I'm going to say the text again. I'm going to project it, but then I'm going to do one extra thing. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. First, I'm going to think about this little pocket of space, that lift in the soft palate that's kind of the hallmark of classical style. I might think about yawning a little bit, which accidentally makes me yawn. Or I might think of, oh no. Or I might think of, ooh. So I'm going to find my lift, ooh, and then I'm going to find my speaking voice with a lift in it. Caro mio ben, credi mi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Now, it sounds way different because I've made this pocket of space. And because I've made the space, I'm sort of subconsciously thinking more and more about the pitches of the song. And I'm doing soft palate. It's making me yawn. I'm sorry. One more time. Oh, no! Caro mio ben! Caro mio ben! Credi mi almen! All the diction is right here, so that nothing disturbs my big tube of space. I've created this lift, I'm blowing this air. I just want things out here to sort of be articulated and punctuated by what I'm doing. If I start to get too chewy, caro mio ben, credi mi almen, I'm doing too much. It's inefficient, and I'm actually altering the state of the tube and disturbing the sound and making it really impossible for me to get a consistent sound, which is one of the other hallmarks of classical singing. So try it. It may feel silly. I often find in the studio people are resistant to this, especially the classical one, like the Julia Child one, because it feels so silly. But I always tell people, like, I wouldn't ask people to do that if I haven't seen it work every single time. So fundamentally, diction is based on speech with tiny alterations for style. Explore, enjoy, have fun.